I know Nick Drake has a reputation as being a difficult musician, morose, maybe, certainly sombre, but actually I find this to be quite a joyful little tune. I suppose it depends on how you interpret the lyrics. It's also very simple, it's very short, just a small handful of very easy to play chords. The challenge, if there is one, is in the tuning, which is a bit unusual. I mean, it's quite familiar if you've played Nick Drake stuff before, but we're going to tune the strings down mainly. The sixth string, open, I've got a capo here on the second fret, but I'm going to give you the open string pitches. The sixth string should be C, that's 2 tones below the standard E. And the fifth string is down a tone from A to G. And the fourth string, likewise down a tone from D to C. And the third string is down a tone from G to F. And we're going to tune up the second string just a fret's worth, a semitone from B to C. That shouldn't be a problem. And then thankfully the top string is left as an E, as it is in standard tuning. So with those bottom 4 strings all tuned down a bit, we've got a slack tuning here, and the strings are going to be a bit flabby, so when you put the capo back on, you're going to expect to have to tweak that a bit. But with the capo on the second fret, we've got this: D, A, D, G, D, and an F sharp. And if you put a finger on the second fret, I'm using my second finger here, second fret of the third string, and play all 6 strings, you've got a lovely, rich, resonant sounding D chord. And there's a lot of this chord in this song. Now, before we get on and look at the chord shapes themselves, it is worth saying that the originally released audio is very sharp. I've heard it said that it's Nick Drake trying to tune his guitar to the natural resonances of the universe. I think it's much more likely to be a lack of synchronization of tape speeds from one tape machine to another, very common in the 70s. If you've ever played Simon and Garfunkel, Crosby, Stills and Nash, lots of Beatles songs are a little bit out with standard tuning, or concert pitch I should say. When I was arranging this, I had to pitch shift the original audio down by about 40 cents. That is very nearly half a semitone. So if you're going to play along with the original, you're either going to tune this up a little bit or pitch shift the audio down, or maybe just grin and bear it. But it's worth saying that the original audio really is quite sharp. So we kick off with 4 bars of D. Like this in 16ths. But we don't want to be too kind of automatic, robotic about this. We want to keep it nice and loose, not sloppy, but loose. And create some upstrum accents just by catching those top strings maybe. Now, if I tab out what I reckon he does in the first bar, and that just repeats, we're going to have something like this. I haven't tabbed out every string, obviously, just the ones that kind of we need to take notice of. In the first beat, we're just going to strum, but then on the 4th strum, we're going to catch those upper strings. Okay, and then nothing else significant happens until the 3rd beat, and we get this. On the 3rd beat, he strums down, and on the following up strum, we're going to shift that finger from the 2nd fret of the 3rd string to the 2nd fret of the 4th string. An up strum, a down strum, and then again down, this time to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, where it's going to stay pretty much to the end of the pattern, and you might lift it off for the last half beat. So altogether, kind of a thing. Up to speed. now we get into the verse. And the verse is another 8 bars. First 2 bars are up on the 7th fret here. I'm bowing across the 7th fret and I've got my 3rd finger on the 9th fret, so 2 frets higher on the 3rd string. More strumming in 16ths, but what happens here is that after a beat and a half, so dagga dagga dagga, we move that finger to the 2nd string instead. And that repeats. Then we move the whole thing down to the 5th fret and back and again. Okay, so that's an 8-bar section. First 2 bars up here on the 7th, switching between the 3rd and 2nd strings, down 2 frets, and then all that just repeats. Let me just sing that for you. I saw it written and I saw it say, big moon is on its way. None of you stand so tall. Big moon gonna get you all, and that's a big moon. 2 bars of D, which kicks off, I guess it's the chorus. I mean, it's so slight, it's hardly worth thinking about it as a separate section, but let's look at that now. So this next section is 2 bars of D with our little riff, and then we're going to play this E minor 9. It's an E minor, and that F sharp at the top makes the 9. You could either put 3 fingers on the bottom 3 strings at the 2nd fret, which is what I've got here, or maybe, depending on how murky and how warm you want it to sound, maybe that 4th string could be open. I don't think it makes a great deal of odds really, but that kind of a thing. And then that just repeats, so we get, it's a pink moon, yeah, pink moon. So that's 8 bars, the D, the E minor, the D, the E minor, each one 2 bars worth. But on that 8th bar, when we get back to our D, we actually have a piano solo. There's a little piano figure that comes in, and we could integrate that into our strumming, I guess. So let's take a look at that. So the original piano melody is like this. And that follows up with another phrase. And in the first bar we're on D. We end up with a note on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, which is the top of our E minor shape. Then the 2nd phrase starts on E minor. And we land back on D. Now, if you wanted to strum the chord while you're playing the melody, you kind of could, because we need a note on the 3rd string for the D. We could play the whole of that melody in the D bar on the 3rd string. There's the E minor then. Okay, and if we strum that, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's quite pretty. And the 2nd phrase is a little bit easier to incorporate in the strumming without moving all the way up the neck. I can hold the E minor for a while here. I've got my 1st finger on the 1st fret of the top string, and I'm going to use my 3rd finger to play the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And then at some point I'm just going to have to break that shape to get that. That works pretty well from the top. And that's pretty much it. The form of the song is 4 bars of intro, that D that we looked at, 8 bars of verse with our alternating 7th fret and 5th fret stuff. Then we get our 8 bars of chorusy thing, of which the 8th bar is the piano solo. And when we come out of the piano solo, we actually just get a single bar of D before going into another verse. So it's this. Verse again. Big moon is on its way. Same lyrics. None of you stand so tall. Big moon gonna get you on its way. And it just finishes after 4 bars of D on a single strum, and that's everything. Alright, well, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully see you on the next one. Let's have a playthrough. 1, 2, 3. I saw it written and I saw it say, big moon is on its way. That's it.